Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the 11th episode for The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one first, we're going to give our thoughts on who will win, or who would win, between Carol and Alpha. Alright, so it's the most frequent comment right now that I'm seeing after episode 10 finished airing, which is the comparison between Carol and Alpha, sort of seeing them as both fearsome moms from the perspective of Lydia and Henry, but on one hand, Henry being good and his mom being, also Carol, good and defending the group when she has to, and sort of in the opposite way, you have Lydia with her mom, the battle of the moms, right? Alpha, who is absolutely savage and brutal. So in some ways here, you have basically a fun comparison between Carol and sort of maybe the first time in the series that they have encountered a villain that is as fearsome and crafty as Carol, but in the other way. So whereas Carol went through the zombie apocalypse and sort of she never stopped being a good person, and even though she'll do what's necessary to protect the group, and she'll do what's necessary when the time comes, and she can be quite savage, and vicious when it comes down to it, dating back all the way since, if you think, season 3, when she was trying to convince Andrea to stab the governor in his sleep. And I tell him, what did she say to Andrea way back then, like 6 years ago now, right? She says something like, give him the night of his life and then kill him when he's sleeping, So there's a lot of, there's a lot of similarities between Carol and Alpha, only that I think Carol, even though she went over into the darkness a little bit, she definitely has some darkness about her, and she'll do what she needs to do when the time comes, if it's death by fire or whatever, explosions at Terminus, or maybe the wolves or whatever else, assassin care, whatever she's got to do to protect. She's the mom of the group, right? She said it before herself. And very good at playing possum and very crafty. Alpha, very similar in a lot of ways, but the other side of that, the other way, where she's just vicious, just brutal, and she's maybe, like if you take like percentages and you look at Carol and she's like, okay, she's this percent good and then that percent, vicious. Alpha's like the inversion of that. She's smaller percent good and more, overall vicious in terms of her aggression and her attitude and her behavior. So you can't help the comparisons. I thought the intro for episode 10 was fantastic, the way they kind of did it, and how they both had, agreed that they had super badass moms. And, it's kind of like a setup, right? Everybody's like, oh, is it a setup, Trev? It's like, it's probably a setup, and we got some great comments here from everybody. EBAG TV says, man, the Carol-Alpha comparison this episode has me wanting to see a showdown in the finale or in season 10. And then we have Hannah Hunt, who says, Trev, Alpha versus Carol, who would win? Orlando Preston says, Carol versus Alpha, Daryl versus Beta, right? Awesome. And then we got BecauseICan, who says, I would lose my mind in a good way, in brackets, if Carol fought Alpha to close the Whisperer storyline. Oh my God, that'd be so awesome. So we can dream, we can think about it, and we can hope that's where they're going with the storyline. You get to see the two of them fight it through. Who is the most badass, a zombie apocalypse mom that there is. Madison was pretty badass too. Maybe she deserves kind of a special mention there. But between Carol and Alpha, who will win? I mean, Alpha is really tough, and she's really good with the knives and everything like that, and all of that. And she's super. She's no nonsense, that's for sure. She is crafty as well too. But I got to go with Carol. Personally, I got to go with Carol. Carol is a bit more crafty. Sometimes she could be hiding in the ceiling. Sometimes she could be, I don't know. She's not against wearing, tons of zombie guts to go into Terminus or do whatever she has to do. So in a way, she's gone Whisperer-esque herself when she needed to in order to protect and save the group. And but she's still good, right? She still has that good side to her. And so I think this would be a really cool showdown at the end. There's some good ones here, like, if you have Tara versus Alpha, I'll go with Alpha. If you have Carol versus Alpha, maybe go with Carol. And then what if you had Maggie return next season in season 10 and have her go against Alpha? If Alpha was to kill Tara, let's say, and then Maggie returns and then takes that place, and then things go down in season 10, and you see the two of them one-on-one. Now that'd be cool. But after this episode tonight, I think most people are saying they want to see Carol and Alpha throw down. So awesome. And leave your comments below. Let me know who you guys think will win. I'll take that. Maybe I'll do a poll, and I'll put a poll there so you can vote on who you think will win between Alpha and Carol. Good stuff, man. I love it. So Rowdy says as well, do you see a possible Father Gabriel bond with Daryl and Lydia? So yeah, ever since the beginning, just based on Lydia's age, I really got this same kind of vibe as Daryl and Beth, where he carries her out, right, and he's failed. To maybe give Daryl a chance to redeem himself and maybe, save Beth in that way. So Lydia and Beth have a lot of similarities. Their age is, Lydia's younger, I believe, in terms of it, but she doesn't, in terms of the way they look, Emily Kinney, who played Beth, she's pretty young looking. So in terms of the comparison between the two, maybe giving Daryl a chance to redeem that loss that he once had before in a similar kind of situation, similar kind of circumstances. He was not able to save Beth. Maybe in a way he wants to try to save Lydia, even though obviously she's not the same person. You can get transference in that way, and it can go through to where he might want to do it right this time and make sure that she's safe, as well as Henry and the others. But yeah, absolutely, I see a possible future father-daughter bond between Daryl and Lydia. And I mean, Daryl's the lead of the series now, right? I mean, I think people can say what they want. Okay, Carol, Michonne, whatever. Daryl's at the forefront. When you see it go to commercial, you see Daryl with the crossbow, firing off the bullets. You see Walking Dead, and he's there and everything. And so it's like, yeah, the others are cool too. And of course, Carol's awesome and everything. So is Michonne. But Daryl is the forefront character. And I did enjoy in this episode how different he is from Rick, like I mentioned in the review. Just in the way he responds, the way he talks to people. It's just so different than Rick, right? Whereas Rick's like, oh, okay, you don't want any painkillers. Okay, that's fine, no problem. Maybe later, right? He's way softer. Right? I don't give a shit. That's awesome. I just love it, man. It's like, yeah, he's still Daryl. That's right. You can't, even though he's at the forefront, he's still himself, right? He's still him. So the way he relates to people, the way he talks is not gonna change that drastically that fast. It might change over time because it kind of has to, depending on what his responsibilities are going to be for the Hilltop and for the others. But so far, I've been enjoying getting to see more time with Daryl and kind of a different take with him, because we're used to seeing Rick in those situations in particular, and the way Rick handles those situations, and now we're getting to see that Daryl is not the same as Rick, and he's not going to be. WC4 TV 1998 says Alpha's voice throws me off so bad, but a lot of people, they also commented that they thought that Alpha's voice was better when we actually get to see it in the scene. So when you see it before in the preview, it just doesn't feel right, or something feels weird about it. But that's because she's projecting very loud. And when we get to see the scenes here, I thought it made more sense. I thought it felt more natural because they're way up there and she's way out here. And so she's trying to kind of, to them. And also because they cut it, maybe it just felt unnatural, or it felt weird in the trailer because it wasn't natural. It actually was cut. So maybe subconsciously somehow we could kind of see that it didn't sound right or didn't fit. And sometimes your subconscious pick up on that stuff, but consciously you can't quite place it. But now that we heard it all the way through, I thought it made more sense, and I thought the way she speaks is kind of like, because she's used to whispering all the time, when she actually has to, yell, and when she has to actually, enunciate and speak in that way, she's not really used to it. She's more used to quiet and whispering around. She's not used to doing this, so the way she speaks is kind of broken up, right? About conflict, and kind of like it's disjointed. It's not smooth. It's kind of blocky, right? In the way she kind of speaks through. So so I thought it made a lot more sense now that we actually got to see it, and I didn't hate it as much, and I'm starting to get more used to it. And I think after seeing this episode, it's I still don't love it, but I don't think it's too bad either. Some people here did like it. We've got let's see. Love and Peace, who said, I had my doubts about Samantha Morton playing Alpha, but at the end scene, creeped me out. I like the way she looks and talks. Very Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque. She's good. I like her. So that's cool. I didn't really think about that comparison between like Leatherface or Texas Chainsaw Massacre and her. But I guess Yeah, I mean, I get that. That's a good comparison. That's a good thing to kind of bring to the forefront, because that makes sense. That you kind of feel like she's kind of a Walking Dead version of sort of a mishmash and a mixture of maybe some of these archetypical horror characters, right? So it's cool to kind of see that all brought together by her, and in her version in The Walking Dead is really kind of fun to see. So Isaiah Bryant says, so why didn't they just shoot up Alpha in the zombie squad when they confronted the hilltop? I feel like Rick would, and I have to correct Isaiah by saying this. Now, if Rick was there, they would have just shot all above all the whispers all over here, and all the whispers would have gotten away except for maybe like one of them, and Alpha would have been fine. Alpha would have been like rolling and whatever, and he'd be shooting, and it'd be all, and then he'd get away. And then it'd be 2 seasons later, and finally they'd get him. And it'd be like up close with a piece of glass or something, right? So, but yeah, that's one thing that you're probably used to. But I don't think they have any ammo now. I think they're pretty much out of ammo. I think they don't have anything now. I don't think they have a heavy duty, semi-automatic, all-out war weaponry anymore. My interpretation is after the time skip, that was basically all gone. You might have a couple guns here and there. Maybe Alpha keeps her double-barrel shotgun. Maybe she's got a little bit of ammunition for it, but she saves it for when she needs it, and she doesn't waste it because it's hard to come by, ammunition. But maybe they have a few guns, but I don't think this is all-out war where everybody's got like a room full of guns and defective bullets and whatever else, right? It's different now. Dislike my video challenge says, Alpha looks so creepy. Great casting from AMC. Aggie says, can't wait for Beta to be revealed. Edward Tona says, hey Trev, did you happen to catch the lullaby song, Lydia the Tattooed Lady? Is the same song used in Breaking Bad for Todd's ringtone in the last episode of the series. So I haven't seen Breaking Bad now for probably, I want to say 3-4 years, maybe 5 years. It's been a long time. I've seen it. I reviewed all the episodes at the end. It's an amazing series and everything. Really fun, kind of anytime they cross over between it, and you get these kind of fan theories. I think Father Gabriel's actor, Seth, Seth gave his thoughts on the crossover idea that the Breaking Bad started the zombie apocalypse with his Heisenberg's formula or something. It's like, it caused the outbreak or something. Which is fun. But, I mean, I heard the song through and everything, and I saw the tattoo and all that. But I didn't know that they had used something like that for Todd's ringtone in Breaking Bad. So I'll have to look into that. But thanks for pointing that out, Edward, if that is true. That's kind of cool. And I do miss seeing Breaking Bad, but Better Call Saul's still going strong. Bushido Boxer says, can we take a minute to appreciate the acting of Lydia's actress? And it's true, man. She did a really, really good job in this episode. She did a great job of maybe she didn't go too far overboard or anything, but it was mostly subtle and smooth and natural, and I thought it was good. I also thought the flashback sequences made it more exciting too, rather than just seeing her talk about it. Like, it was cool to actually get to see it play out, and it was good for us to understand Alpha. So it was really an Alpha Lydia episode for sure. And the last one will be from Alicia of the Dead, who says Alpha will be the greatest Walking Dead villain, and Samantha Morton's acting is at the same level standard as Andrew Lincoln and Lenny James. So far I'm impressed. I think she's really good so far. I've enjoyed to see it, and I think it's really cool. She's a different kind of villain. We've never had a villain like her. The closest one might be like Dawn, and that's not really that close just because she's female. It's like, well, just because she's a female leader, Trevor, it's not that close. I know. But yeah, man, she's certainly different from her, that's for sure. We've never really had anything like Alpha in the TV series, so really cool to see. And I think already she's one of the best villains they've had. Will she go down as the greatest? I think voted in as Shane as the greatest Walking Dead villain. I go with Negan, but you guys know. But I guess Shane is the most popular Walking Dead villain. So plus he came back in those scenes and stuff in the last episode this season. That's crazy to say. Like, Shane was in this season. It's crazy to think about, right? So we'll see. All in all, in the end, how people view her as a villain in the series. But I think she will go down as probably one of the top 5. You got Governor, Shane, Negan. And then she'd be up there, right? She'd be pretty close, Alpha Wolf, Gareth, some of the others. There's lots of villains. Joe, she's up there. She's got to be close, right? For sure. There aren't that many anyway, so it's what it is. keep sending me your guys' Q&A questions if you want to see another one for tomorrow. I'm very excited to see if we ever, hopefully they're alluding to a Carol Alpha showdown. That will be awesome. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, I would appreciate you doing so. Bottom left to subscribe, join the family, join the channel and the herd. And are we Whispers? Are we Survivors? I feel like we're probably more closer to Survivors right now. The Whispers don't really have that same, they're just straight up something to fear. They don't really have that cool factor that Negan and the Saviors had in some ways. You know, the biker jackets and Lucille and all that stuff. So, but anyway, it's just me. Alpha's awesome. That's it for this video, guys. See you again soon for another. Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.